Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
And it's time for the 6,000 subscriber Q&A. First of all, thanks to everyone that's hit subscribe, that's been here from the beginning, and that just joined yesterday, if that's even somebody. So what this is just every 1,000 subscribers, until we think of something new, just doing a Q&A. If you have any questions about where the channel came from, anything about my thoughts on MMA, or just anything, man, that's what this is for. Just thanks for hitting subscribe. And even if you're just listening, you need to get to hitting subscribe. You know, it might take you a little, hey, we're just gonna rock with the people that ask questions in this video for now. We'll get to you guys another day. But with that being said, let's jump right into this and get to the first question by my man Dennis Garcia. He said, where'd you get that coonskin hat, and does it help you pull bitches? Actually, I got this coonskin hat, man. My uncle, rest in peace, we used to go hunting and shit like when we were younger, you know, every year or something, you know, like one of my white uncles, and he ended up passing away on a hunting trip not too long ago. And so I've had this ever since then, since I was like 18 or something. So yeah, that's where it came from. And as far as, no, I'm just kidding, I don't really remember where I got this hat, bro. It popped up one day. But if you listen to Jaron Benton, hey, I thought it was pretty dope, because like whenever I ran into this hat, I had already knew who Jaron Benton was. I was like, oh shit, it's a Jaron Benton hat, let's fucking go. So with that being said, I don't know where I got it from, but as far as pulling bitches, it hasn't really helped me pull any bitches, man. I've rocked it to the club a couple. No, I haven't. It might have helped me pull a couple subscribers, but I don't think it's helped me pull any bitches. I mean, maybe in the comment section. No, I'm just fucking around like straight sausage fest in this joint. With that being said, let's move to the next question. Arpit Singh said, do you think Darren missed weight intentionally? I don't think so. As far as like, ooh, if I miss weight by 8 pounds, you know, I'll be almost another weight class up. She might have just got tired of the weight cut and stopped cutting weight. Do I think she fucking cut weight to the very last second and depleted her? I don't know about that, but I don't think she came in with like some big conspiracy like, okay, I'm gonna come in 8 pounds over so I can fucking, you know, be that much bigger. Because if that was her game plan, you'd think she was really about to come in there and get a submission, use that weight advantage to out grapple Amanda Cooper. But she really came in there and dropped her, and the weight probably helped put a little on that. Her weight advantage probably did put a little more power on that punch she threw, but I don't think she intentionally came in there like, hey man, I'm gonna come in 8 pounds over. But that is a lot of weight, and some people like Dominic Cruz have said like it's basically cheating weighing that much, but I don't think that's the case. I think once Mackenzie Dern, now that she's gonna have her camp in California, you know what I'm saying, like a, you know, now that she's actually gonna have a stable camp, she, you know, she was going back and forth between the MMA lab in California or wherever. Now she's going to have a stable camp. Now that she's missed weight by this much and it was this big of a deal, I think she's going to get a proper nutritionist. And I think Mackenzie Dern's going to make weight next fight. And I predicted this not too long ago. I think her next fight should be at UFC 227. She just moved to California right now. She's fighting out of California. Stable camp, make weight. UFC 227 is going to be a big card. Maybe it's a reach, but hey, I think that'd be the perfect card for Mackenzie Dern's return. I mean, three pay-per-views later. But with that being said, yeah, no, I don't think she just came in 8 pounds over intentionally. That's a lot. I don't even know how the hell she came in that much over. You know what I'm? Yeah, that's pretty crazy though, to come in 8 pounds over. Because if she would have missed weight, I think the commission or someone else actually came out and said this. If she would have missed weight by 10 pounds, they couldn't have fought, because she would have actually been a whole weight class up. Because now there's a 125-pound division. So it's really interesting. But yeah, that's my answer on that question. Armpit Singh said, come live, bro. Man, I really want to start going live more. It just annoys me whenever I'm going live and we start lagging every fucking 10 minutes. I cut out for like 5 seconds and I gotta cut back in, so I'll be in the middle of talking and the stream will just cut off and I won't know. I'm like, damn, where did I leave off? So that's pretty annoying. So until I can like upgrade my internet, I think that's what I need to do pretty soon. Then I'll start doing a lot more live shows. I also want to try and do like a Google Hangout, because I think that might lag less and you guys can call in and stuff too. I want to try and do that soon. I might do that today, tomorrow, something like that. So if anybody's interested in the Google Hangout, be watching for my live streams. I might go live today, tomorrow, the next day. and just let some of you guys, you know, try and call in. I think that'd be super dope. Kind of like CH Edge Combat Sports. If you watch his show, he does just like Google Hangout, basic Google Hangout. People can call in. I want to do that. I just haven't figured out how to use Google Hangouts yet. Not that well. MMA Vlogger Real Talk Forum said, are you impressed by the way Kelvin and RDA are doing in different weight classes? I mean, I'm impressed, but I'm not I don't think they're, I don't know, man. I'm impressed because, but they're world-class fighters. That's the thing. I'm impressed, but I don't think they're like, do I think Kelvin Gastelum's got a chance against Chris Weidman? A knockout chance. So, you know, I don't think they'll ever be the best in their weight class. You know what I'm saying? Like the best fighter in their weight class, dominant champ, reigning champions. I don't think if they ever get the belt, I don't think they'll hold it for longer than one defense. They might get the belt, but I don't think it'll be that long. Because if Weidman gets the belt, let's say Weidman fights Whitaker next, very real possibility. Well, what happens when, I mean, not Weidman, let's say Gastelum fights Whitaker next. That's a very real possibility. Gastelum said he's waiting out for the title shot. We got Whitaker versus Romero too. Whitaker won the first fight, arguably on one leg. So you would assume Whitaker's probably going to win the second fight. And if Whitaker does win the second fight, we got Whitaker versus Gastelum for the belt. If Gastelum beats Whitaker, okay, he's the champion. But how long until Chris Weidman gets that rematch? Who are you picking if Chris Weidman, you know what I'm saying? It's not like I can't look at RDA if he beat Tyron Woodley. Like, do you think, I don't even think RDA is getting past Covington for part of this reason. He's coming up from 155 and he's fighting a legitimate wrestling powerhouse at 170 in Colby Covington. Colby Covington has the potential to fold RDA just with his wrestling, like he's done his training partner Jorge Masvidal. Nothing, you know, Jorge Masvidal is one of the best fighters in the world, but it's not going to stop you when you're going against Colby Covington wrestling. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. So yeah, I'm impressed because they've got some wins, a couple of wins, but I don't think, you know, like, let's look at, you could really like dive into their wins. RDA, he beat Robbie Lawler, but some people critiqued him for, you know, throwing that fucking 85 hit combo and not really ever being able to finish Robbie Lawler, which not too big of a deal to me per se, but still some people pointed that out. Maybe if he was a legitimate welterweight, who knows, maybe he's not throwing that same output, but maybe he gets, I don't know. So, and then as far as the other one is concerned, as far as Kelvin Gastelum, he's beat a lot of guys, legends. He's on the Legends ass kicking tour, but you could argue like what, Vitor Belfort, Tim Kenny, all the guys that he's beat are like over 35. And then when he faced Weidman, we saw what happened. So I'm impressed for sure by Gastelum, you know, because he's about to be fighting for the title at middleweight, and RDA, he's about to be fighting for the interim title. But I just don't really see like if they could be like a reigning champion at the higher divisions. So yeah, but I think there's something to be said about the new divisions. Like I think they're going to be on the way, man. I really think there's a 165 division. I think that would shake things up. So yeah, there's my answer on that. The Burke Mister said, what do you think are the actual chances of GSP versus Nate Diaz happening at lightweight? And if Nate will continue to decline, who would GSP fight at lightweight? The actual chances of GSP fighting Nate at lightweight, in my opinion, are like 5%. 0 to 5%. They've never really talked about that fight. Like, as far as Nate Diaz, he's even before recently said that's his brother's fight. He's not making that fight. And then since these rumors have came out, Nick Diaz said, I'll slap anyone that tries to make that fight. Nick Diaz decides who fights who out of the Nick Diaz Academy. Nate Diaz has said, I'm not taking the fight. So I just don't see that fight happening. Who should GSP fight at lightweight? Possibly Conor McGregor, possibly Khabib. I mean, it would be, I think it'd be a big fight, GSP versus Nate Diaz. I mean, it's just the politics behind it, as far as Nate and Nick Diaz are brothers and they're not going to go against each other. They've said that in the past and they've restated it recently. We're not doing it. So in a perfect world for fans in the UFC, yeah, they would love to make that fight at lightweight. But also, we got to think about GSP fighting at lightweight. Does he really just want to come down and fight a lightweight contender? If he's going to make the cut down to lightweight, I would assume GSP might want to fight for a title, right? So who would GSP fight at lightweight if he doesn't fight Nate Diaz? He would only fight for a title, I could see, because no one else is a huge name. he's not just coming back to fight lightweight contenders and jump in the rankings at lightweight. So yeah, maybe though Nick Diaz. I mean, I think there's more legs to GSP versus Nick Diaz, and there always has been, than that Nate Diaz fight. There's literally been rumors of Nick Diaz versus GSP 2 for like the last couple of months. So out of the GSP camp, and also Nick Diaz, before this crazy Nate Diaz GSP monkey wrench came out of Dana White, I believe. Before that, Nick Diaz was spotted like wearing Reebok and stuff, you know, instead of the normal represent gear and shit. He had like a Reebok shirt on. So I really feel like, as far as Nate Diaz versus GSP is concerned, I don't know if that's going to happen, especially, but it would be a good time for it at UFC 227 in LA, in California. The Diaz brothers from California, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. But yeah, as far as Nate versus GSP, I don't know, 0 to 5% chance. Nick versus GSP 2, I'm talking about like 50 to 75% chance on that fight. George Page said, come on CSH Combat Sports and we can do a live show. Well, I can't do that right now. I'm recording. But if he's live, yeah, I'll stop by, you know what I'm saying? I'll stop through. I want to start doing try and do some of that shit over here too, so some people can call in to mess with the channel. MMA Vlogger Real Talk Forum said, do you think Conor will fight this? TBH, I don't think Conor will ever fight, but if he did, it would be against RDA. If RDA could get through Colby Covington and beat Woodley, Conor knows he could beat RDA, becomes 3-way world champion. Do you think Conor will fight this? I don't know what you mean by that. Probably the winner. You mean for the welterweight championship, it sounds like you're talking about? Yeah, I could see Conor fighting RDA if he became the champion for sure. That's probably right. But I mean, as of Conor's got fights, right? He could fight GSP. He could fight Khabib. He's got Nate Diaz. I don't even think Conor needs to become a 3-way champion at this point. But yeah, I see what you're saying though, because he probably has a better chance against RDA. But if RDA could get through Covington and Woodley, Conor might have to reconsider. If RDA beats Covington and Woodley, then RDA is a whole new monster. I don't know if anybody wants to fight an RDA that's beating Covington and Woodley. I don't see that happening. But let's continue. Less Legislation asked, all-time favorite fighter. That, you're not asking greatest fighter of all time. My favorite fighter. Well, Anderson Silva was. That's what got me into the sport. Like, that's when I used to go to like Buffalo Wild Wings, you know, and shit in high school, fucking, or Hooters, wherever we would go. Like, oh shit, Silva's fighting, I gotta go. You know, I was like Rampage Jackson and stuff back in the day, Chuck Liddell's. But since then, Anderson Silva has definitely and John Jones, of course, GSPs. But since then, Anderson Silva, he was probably the top of my list in the past, but he's failed multiple drug tests. On top of came out and got his Oscar De La Hoya on, if you know what I'm saying. He came out and had the video dancing in the high heels and the brawl. He might have had on the fishnets, yeah. And you know, so, but if you're drawing inside and outside of the octagon, I would say somebody like Jorge Masvidal, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's dope. Aside from throwing a fucking dolly through a window, I think he's pretty, you know, he's very entertaining. So one of my favorite fighters. Also entertaining fighting style. So yeah, man, Darren Till's coming up on one, man. I'm fucking with Darren Till pretty heavy. I just watched his he's got his own like little embedded series. It's called like Darren Till. I forget what the name of it, but Darren Till leading up to Liverpool. I just watched that. So yeah, Darren Till, he's super dope too, but not all time yet. You know, he's still got a little ways to go. So yeah, man, there's my thoughts on that. Misha Tate's tits or Holly Holmes' ass, said the MMA Vlogger Real Talk Forum. How about both? Nate G said, who do you have winning, Till or Wonder Boy? Day one hitter on day first 50. Let's go. Who do I have winning, Darren Till or Wonder Boy? Whew, God, man, I feel like Wonder Boy is the ultimate test, and I feel like Darren Till, like, you know, he's not a hype train, but I just feel like this is a wall. Wonder Boy is a wall, and Darren Till is not a hype train, but he's like a Till train. And I feel like the Till train is running into the Wonder Boy wall, but the Wonder Boy wall might not be as sturdy. I really like, I'm like 60% in my brain is going toward Wonder Boy, but 60% of my heart is going toward Till. I'm so torn on this fight. I don't know who's gonna win. I don't even know who I want to win. I fuck with Wonderboy pretty heavy, man. But Darren Till, he might be a force to be reckoned with. This is the ultimate fight to see. If Till wins against Wonderboy, the sky's the limit. But he still has to get past either Woodley or whoever he fights out of Covington and RDA. Shit, dog. That's really the hardest question I think that's been asked to me. And Darren Till or Wonderboy. I think I'm going with Wonderboy right now, but that might change by the time I do my predictions. I'll say that. MMA Vlogger Real Talk Forum said, "Free Jon Jones. Fact, it was actually AKA or who ordered Luke to offer Jon Jones steroid jalapeno chips and came to added steroids to Jon Jones Monster Energy drink, which took his place. Khabib added steroids to Jon Jones bear, who sneezed on Jon Jones' face, causing him to sweat steroids. Finally, DC added steroids to Jon Jones protein shake. It's them fucking jalapeno joints, I'm telling you, bro." Hashtag Fire Snoop. Hey, I might play that at the end. You be throwing up that hashtag Fire Snoop a lot. Yeah, I know you fuck with that. I'll play that at the end of this just because this is just, you know what I'm saying? If you're listening to this, you probably fuck with the channel, so it's a pretty good little song, if I might say. If you might say. So yeah, we'll run that at the end. Hashtag Fire Snoop. MMA Vlogger Real Talk Forum also asked the top 5 gatekeepers who will never hold a UFC belt. Number 1, Jacare Souza. Number 2, Frankie Edgar. He already held the UFC belt. Alexander Gustafsson, number 3. Number 4, John Dodson. Number 5, Stephen Thompson. I like that list for sure. John Dodson, man, I don't even know if you'd call him a gatekeeper at this point. But yeah, John Dodson's a savage. But a gatekeeper is someone I look at as like the number 1 contender that beats everybody else. John Dodson, I don't know if he's made it to the number 1 contender. I mean, I know he fought Demetrius Johnson, but it's like when he went up to bantamweight, he lost those close split decisions, which I actually arguably thought he might have won, but they were close. It seemed worse, but yeah. So gatekeepers who will never hold a UFC belt, and I think John Dodson's a free agent right now, but I really fuck with John Dodson. He's one of my, I like John Dodson. He's one of my, I think he is a very underrated fighter, but my definition of gatekeeper is somebody like Wonderboy Thompson, just because he can't beat the champion, but no one else can beat him. That's my definition of a gatekeeper. Somebody that can't beat the champion, but nobody else can beat them. That's what I was trying to get to with the John Dodson point. He's lost other fights, you know, even though it might have been split decisions. That's why I don't know if that's a gatekeeper. Alexander Gustafsson, no one can beat him except for the champion, you know. Jon Jones, champion. That's the only person that will beat Gustafsson. Daniel Cormier, champion. Only person that beat Gustafsson. No one else can beat Gustafsson. Jacare Souza, he's been number 1 contender. I mean, he lost to Robert Whittaker. That's why going into this fight, I picked Kelvin Gastelum low-key, because I kind of thought the fight might go like the Whittaker fight went, a little different, which it did. But Jacare, yeah, he's been so close to the title, and didn't make it. So maybe John Dodson is, you know, maybe if you, in that sense, you could say gatekeeper if you wanted to. I wouldn't argue with you on that, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. But Frankie Edgar, he's held a belt, but I do like the John Fitch. Are you talking about active fighters? John Fitch is a guy, you know, like no one could beat John Fitch, but he couldn't beat GSP. I'm trying to think of other divisions, man. I don't know. Yeah. So top 5 gatekeepers who. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, fucking. And that looks like you were just fucking putting it out there, not even asking. So it is what it is. MMA Vlogger Real Talk Forum said Dana White needs to fire bitch ass Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz for not accepting fights like he did to Yair Rodriguez. Nate Diaz, oh, that's my brother's fight. I need a legacy fight. It's not a money fight. Just admit you want the Conor fight. damn. Yeah, see, that's some people say, like, that's what some people brought up, like, oh shit, is he about to fire Nate Diaz now? But the thing is, Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz at this point are really big. As far as the UFC is concerned, they're big stars, you know, bigger than they were in the past. Nick Diaz was always one of the bigger stars of the Diaz brothers. Like, before the Conor fights, he was fighting GSPs. He was fighting Anderson Silva, Carlos Condit, BJ Penn. Nick Diaz was already getting big fights. Nate Diaz got the Conor fight, and now they're both of them, boom, that much bigger. So, the UFC, there's no way I can see them firing like a Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez hasn't been a champion. He hasn't fought Conor McGregor, you know, nothing like that. So he had the potential to be a big star, but he wasn't there yet. So that's why he can't really fire Nate or Nick yet, in my opinion. I don't think they would ever do that, because they're two big stars, too much money to make Bellator. I'm surprised Bellator ain't snatched up. Bro, if I was Bellator, I would have tried to sign that contract an hour later. Hey, Yair, did they give you your papers yet? Boom, boom, boom. I would have signed it that day, made the same headlines. Like, it would have been talking about Dana White fires Yair Rodriguez, real news. And then it would have said Bellator picks up Yair 1 hour later. You're bad. Like, Bellator should have fucking signed him ASAP. That weird guy said, haha, I'm literal day 3 sub, been here since the channel 1 to present though. Jokes, why the fuck can't the week 1 subs get no love? Respect on your name, for real though, bring merch back. Fuck Oscar, fuck the old, no longer and new, it's and still. I'll try and make some merch, man. I'm not a graphic designer, so I you know what I'm saying, I've never made merch before, so that one time somebody gave me a transparent logo just to throw on the shirt. I might be able to do that, maybe do a phone case with that, maybe we can do something like that, and I'll just put up like a Teespring and put that in the description box or something, because somebody else put that in the comment recently saying that they were saying something about, like, they had full-time MMA hoodies, but since it's summer, they ain't wearing the motherfuckers no more. Y'all see, I ain't been wearing my joint either. I already know what you're talking about. So yeah, man, I'll try and do something for that soon. So next, MMA Vlogger Real Talk Forums. Damn, bro, you ain't fucking around. He said, with nut on Misha's big tits or nut inside. Bro, that shit is too real for TV. He said, would nut on Misha Tate's big tits or nut inside Michelle Waterson's ass? Are you asking me? Bro, all those answers like that for me are both. Like, I'm not about to, like, man, would I rather, you know what I'm saying? I'll just say both. I oblige. Now and later, 6,000K. Time to go live tomorrow. Oh shit, do I gotta go live? Yeah, I'll go live soon. I was talking about that earlier. I'll go live soon, probably try and do a Google Hangout. Seismic Shock said, well done yet again, brother. I don't be commenting much these days with the new job and all, but always listen. I appreciate the hard work you put in, bro. Thanks to Seismic Shock. I'll be wondering, you know, like, damn, some people ain't commenting no more. They used to comment a lot. Are they, you know, did their attention just go away from they not fucking with the channel no more? Or they just get a new job, you know? And so yeah, thanks for the comment, bro, and much appreciated. Seismic Shock said, what do you think about the possible return of Chuck Liddell? Do you think if a promotion allows him, and God forbid he ends up with even more brain damage or worse, who would you blame responsible? I know people will say Chuck, but you always hear the promoters like Dana say, you got to protect the fighter from themselves. Yeah, who would I put the blame on? I mean, I think by this point Chuck Liddell like knows what people are saying. Like, I don't think he's oblivious to brain damage and the risk of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's very aware. He's probably had Dana White, among doctors, among Joe Rogan, among other friends that have told him about brain damage by now. I think that's a common knowledge for a lot of people what's going on with CTE, and you probably shouldn't be taking shots into your 40s, 45s, and he's 48 years old. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to blame people who are a business that if you're a big name and you want to fight, who are they to say no? Like, if you're a business, who are you to say no to Chuck Liddell if he wants to fight? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it would have to be Chuck or his team or someone like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe his team. Does he have a manager? So it's hard to put the blame on a fighter if he needs the money, right? Maybe he fucking is out of money. If he's out of money, what can you say, right? If he's needs to pay his rent or something like that, then maybe he's got to do what he's got to do. But if he's just got money in the bank and he just wants to fight, that's probably where somebody on his team probably needs to kind of step in. So yeah, that's a weird subject. But as far as who would be responsible, it's hard to not say. I'll say this: if Chuck Liddell is aware of brain damage and CTE and all of that, then I would put the blame on him. You know, because he's a grown-ass man. He's 48, I believe. So if he's a grown-ass man and he's completely aware of what he's doing, then yeah, that's on him in my opinion. So 20 times Man United said best division in the UFC. Right now, I just gotta say lightweight. That lightweight division is fucking jumping all the way down through the top 15 and outside of it. Maribek, Tysonov, and others who aren't even ranked yet. That lightweight division is crazy. Was there another one? Probably welterweight's up there too. They got some savages. Seismic Shock said, I think the UFC will have some serious competition from Bellator in the next 2 or 3 years. Do you ever see Bellator becoming the #1 promotion in MMA? Potentially. I just saw some shit, I believe, from Brett Okamoto on ESPN, if I'm not mistaken, and it was talking about how the UFC's new model, how they're moving to ESPN Plus and somewhere else, and they might be going down to like 6 pay-per-views a year possibly, or just the way they're changing their structure, they're going to be less reliant on star power and more just reliant on more events. Like they're breaking it down, like the new business deal between ESPN and the UFC, and they were saying that the UFC is about to be less reliant on stars. Well, if that's the case and stars feel like they're not getting their pay, they might want to go see what Bellator's talking about. So as far as star power goes, we might see a lot of stars jumping ship and going to Bellator. So if that's the case in 2 or 3 years, I do think Bellator could become #1. Depends on what the UFC does. They just cut Yair Rodriguez. If Bellator picks up Yair Rodriguez, they just got a potential star for nothing. Bellator, he ain't gonna have to fight Frankie Edgar. Bellator, Yair Rodriguez could become a Bellator champion, do a champ versus champ super fight. Who's not gonna watch Yair Rodriguez's fighting style over at Bellator? You know, it's like that. Fuck, dog. If UFC's just giving up stars like that, Bellator, hell yeah, 2 or 3 years could become #1. So yeah, next Seismic Shock said, do you ever want to take a break from YouTube, or do you feel like you have a responsibility to keep making videos every day, especially with the Patreon channel? It must be tough some days with your job and life in general to put out so much content. As I said, your work is much appreciated. No, because hopefully this, because like life outside of YouTube isn't amazing at all, never has been. So like this is like, holy shit, maybe we can turn this, maybe we got something here. So like this is like, if I'm treating this as if I started a business, right? And if you know what they say, if you start a business, you're probably supposed to lose money the first 2 or 3 years until you get your customers and all of that established, if you're starting like a local business. So I'm putting like all of this, like everything into this as if it's like my own business or something. So I'm trying to like invest into it. And so this channel is kind of like, yeah, the family and everything is kind of like my fucking, it's part of my life. So I do kind of, so yeah, I don't ever really think about taking a break from YouTube shit. I think about taking a break from my other job to put out more content. That's what I'd be thinking about, or live streaming. I'm trying to upgrade my internet so we can do live streams and fight companions, because I noticed about the fight companions, like I know people like the instant results, but there's a couple things about that. For one, a lot of people don't like spoilers, and whenever I'm blasting your notifications with the spoiler, that's annoying, and it makes some people not want to subscribe because they don't want the notification during the fights. And also I noticed when you do fight companions, you get a lot more subscribers than any other time, unless it's some other crazy breaking news. So I really want to start doing fight companions and stuff. But yeah, no man, this channel is hopefully, you know, maybe in the future, whenever I have more, like I'm out of my little rut that I've been in for the last couple of years, maybe I'll want to take a break. I probably won't want to fucking do YouTube 365 days for the next 10 years. But shit, for the next 2-3 years, as long as I can, I'm trying to keep it rocking, bro. I'm trying to, every day, yeah, I'm trying to get something out. And the Patreon, as far as the Patreon is concerned, I'm not really, I don't feel obligated to put video out on Patreon every day, because the people who are paying for Patreon are really just people who have been rocking with the channel that want to help support. It's not people who are like, okay, now that I'm paying over here, I want to be treated better than the guys over there. It's people that understand, you know, that this is I'm trying to invest into the channel, and this is the only way, is from money from the channel. So on top of that, that's just people that are really trying to help out the channel. They're not trying to alienate you guys. So if I don't put a video out over there, and if I put 5 videos on YouTube and 0 on Patreon, they ain't tripping. Shit, half of them probably don't even check out every Patreon video. They're just trying to help support. But I still put the full fight card predictions up over there. I still put some stuff over there, you know, first. So I'm sure they do appreciate some of that shit, and like the betting on the fights with fake money and stuff. So yeah, man. But yeah, it doesn't really take away too much from my life as of right now in my job. So yeah. But good question. London Taylor said, I just came to say congrats, and as always, onwards and upwards. Thank you, London Taylor. Appreciate it. It's only a matter of time before MMA will become an Olympic sport. Is it? Says Seismic Shot. I've been thinking about that. Well, no, boxing never really got in it, because I was thinking like wrestling is in schools, but boxing's really not. So but in the Olympic sport, they do have boxing, they do have wrestling, they do have judo. I wonder if they'll ever mix it. That would be so crazy. Well, then it would have to be amateur, right? Because in Olympic boxing, you have to be amateurs. You don't ever see professional boxers going to the Olympics like you do in like some other sports. So I don't know, man. Maybe 10, 20 years down the road, that would be crazy. I could see that. Jordan Walsh said, congrats on the 6K, bro. Keep up the good work. I'm listening every day. Much appreciated, Jordan Walsh. He also said, what's your thoughts on Miesha Tate defending Pennington's coaches? I haven't heard Miesha Tate. I know there's a lot of controversy going on about that, but Raquel Pennington, Tecia Torres, her girlfriend or wife, and a lot of other people have came out and said that was the right decision. Even Raquel Pennington said she agreed with the coaches afterward. So they're saying like she would have regretted it after the fact. If they would have let her stop the fight right there, they know her better than us. She would have regretted it. But when you're talking about fighters' safety and shit like that, then maybe that's why people are like, no, you gotta stop the fight. You know, her nose is already broken, but these are fighters, you know. So I haven't heard Miesha Tate's exact thoughts, but I'm assuming she's saying something along the lines of, you know, her coaches know her better than anybody else, and that's a fact. Tecia Torres and her coaches know her. So if they send her back out there, they send her back out there. It is what it is. So I have to listen to Miesha Tate's exact thoughts, though. Seismic Shock said, if you had to bring just one of the Diaz brothers back, who would it be? Bring them back. You said that shit like they're dead, bro. Like, if you had to bring Tupac or Biggie back, who would it be? Both of these dudes are still enrolled. We're talking about them like Tupac and Biggie. No, that's pretty funny, man. Probably Nate, bro. I mean, Nick, it's been a while, but who's he? I would like to see them both, but I would say Nate, because if we bring Nate back, it's probably gonna be against Conor McGregor. So that's the fight. I'm probably more excited about Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 3 than I am Nick Diaz versus like a GSP 2 or Nick Diaz versus Carlos Condit 2 or whoever Nick would come back and fight, unless it's like Woodley. I would really like to see Nick Diaz versus Tyron Woodley. Whew, that would be a hell of a fight, but I don't know if Nick Diaz wants that fight at this point. So with that being said, someone's coming to my door, probably about to get distracted. We'll see. Let me shut this door so they might not distract me. Alright, so let's go. Jordan Walsh said, what's your opinion on the whole deal with Dern's accent drama? I think it's funny, but to be honest, it's not that big of a deal. I think there's a fixation on it, and so it's funny to point out and go with, you know, it's like a meme or something. It's kind of fun to go with it, but honestly, I think people focus too much on it, because if she does say Eric, like someone pointed this out, is the accent fake? I don't think she's faking it. Like, fucking intentionally some conspiracy trying to talk with a Brazilian accent, and then like behind this, you know, like Drake. I'll use Drake. Everyone knows the rapper Drake. You know how he raps, but if you listen to him talk, it's nothing like that. He doesn't sound hood. He sounds very proper. You know what I'm saying? He speaks very intelligently, eloquently, proper, and so it's nothing like his actual persona. So I don't even think it's fake. I don't think it's nothing like that, because whenever behind the scenes, fucking, whenever there's no cameras on, I don't think Mackenzie Dern is starting to speak like an Arizona chick from fucking Arizona State for the 8, you know, before she moved to Brazil. I think she is getting a fucking Brazilian accent, but if she was born 20 years in America, yeah, she's gonna say area, you know, the same. Some people was like, you know, if it was a real accent, she would say área instead of area, you know, like R's are pronounced with a D, like área. You know, a real Brazilian like Cyborg would say, you know, área instead of area. And so that's what people were pointing out in that area video. And afterward, I thought about that, like, okay, yeah, but if you did grow up in America, you're probably not going to switch to área. But if you've been living in Brazil for 10 to 15 years, you're still going to pick up that accent. So I honestly don't even think her accent, that it's a conspiracy, bro. I don't even think it's a fake accent. I just think it's kind of fun to go with it sometime. But yeah, I just came to that conclusion actually on the area video, because at first when I watched that UFC Embedded episode where she said the word area and they said conspiracy theorists like caught her, like they could, because she said area instead of área, they thought it was proof that her accent is fake. And then I thought about it, well, yeah, she probably would still say area, like area, if she was born and raised in America and then moved over there. You're not going to change fully, but you're still picking it up. So I don't think it's fake, actually. Gary Kinch Jr. said, I don't have anything to say. A1 day one from the beginning. And when I say the beginning, I mean the beginning. I appreciate your grind. I look forward to your videos every day. I know you have a life like we all do, and it makes me appreciate your content that much more. I'm gonna just kick back and watch you box up. Hey man, hopefully that day comes. You know, I need to just start. I've been thinking, you know, like on some visualization shit. You know how like Darren Till, Sean O'Malley, Conor McGregor, a lot of these people, like when they come up, they say how they seen it. Like I wrote this down. I used to write it on the wall. I'm coming up. You know, I know I'm gonna, like right now, I should write on the wall, I'm gonna have 1 million YouTube subscribers, you know, on some The Secret type shit. So I've been thinking like maybe I need to start speaking into existence, but hopefully it happens. That's how I've been kind of approaching, like, hey, I don't know what the fuck this is gonna bring. Might not bring anything. I might just be grinding on YouTube for the next, you know, whoever, forever, you know, and shit is still gonna get better over time, but it might not be anytime soon, you know what I'm saying? So hey, but it is what it is. I'm gonna keep grinding until something happens, until something shakes. Appreciate it, Gary Kinch Jr. Much appreciated. I look forward to your comments too, dog. I know you be at work listening and shit, and you should be cracking me up. So Forward Thinking said, do you believe there should be 5-round co-main events for non-title fights pending agreeal of both fighters? In my opinion, #1 contender fights should be contested for 5 rounds to see who truly deserves a championship. Edgar versus Ortega, Jacare versus Gastelum, Aldo versus Stevens. I really like that idea. Hell yeah, that's super dope. But yeah, but it's got to be agreeable on fighters. But I wonder how that would affect like UFC time slots and shit. You know, if they're fighting on ESPN or Fox or anywhere, or even a pay-per-view, I think they have time slots. So if it's an agreeable on fighters, like they would have to maybe on the bout agreement, like when they announce the fight. But I don't know how that would work. Like, let's say the UFC has a 2.5 hour time slot, right? If you have 2 5-round fights, maybe that would push them in a little longer, but they have to cut 1 fight off the prelims to make that happen. So I really like that idea, though. I think that's super dope. Possible co-main event 5-round fights, and it really would show who's ready for the title fight. So yeah, I like that idea, but I just don't know how it would work as far as the UFC's business is concerned with time slots and stuff. But yeah, that sounds dope. Forward Thinking said, who's your all-time top 5 favorite fighters to watch? No particular order. My top 5 is Prime, Lawler, Gaethje, Rumble Johnson, John Goat Jones, Mr. Entertainment himself, Tyron Woodley, McGregor. Never had a buoyant fight. my all-time favorite fighters to watch was one Anderson Silva. I don't know, that's up there. That shit was crazy when he was doing what he was doing. Justin Gaethje, I like that one. John Jones for sure. Sean O'Malley's up there for me, bro. I don't think I've watched a Sean O'Malley fight like since he started. Like, cause I've went back and watched all of his fights. So I'm just talking about since everyone found out who Sean O'Malley is. His fights are crazy, and what he has the potential to do with his style. Oh, but how can I gotta bring up Zabit too. I gotta bring up Zabit. How is that not fun to watch? But that one's a little more prisoner of the moment, probably. So, if you're talking about all time, we probably got to talk about people that have proven more. But those two, I got my eye on Sean O'Malley and Zabit. Super fun. So we'll go with 35, 47. Man, that's tough. It's tough for me because now I gotta do thinking, and I don't want to do on the spot thinking because we're doing a video right now. So I'll go Anderson Silva, Justin Gaethje, John Jones, Conor McGregor, Eddie Alvarez has fun fights. So yeah, there's some good fights. Yeah, I wish I had more time for a question like that for like a top 5. Forward thinking, ask next. What's your favorite UFC promo? Mine is believe, conceive, achieve. Shut the fuck up, Michael the Count Bisping. Yeah, my favorite promo, probably maybe one from one of the Conor McGregor Nate Diaz. Some of that shit was classic. But Dominic Cruz, he's had some fucking good ones. Dominic Cruz with Cody Garbrandt before they fought. Those were some good ones too. Those are some that I come up with off the top of my head. MMA from the Heartland said, what do you think of Liddell saying he could beat John Jones? Holy shit, I just heard that today before I did this video. Holy bro, chill, Chuck. Chill. Just chill. There's no reason. There's no reason. Chill. Chill. Anybody else, bro? John Jones responded to his ass too, bro. I gotta do a video on that. Chuck's gotta chill. That's what I gotta say about Chuck saying he could beat John Jones. Just chill. What do I think about Chuck Liddell's return against Tito? Tito, way better matchup. Both of those guys got back and neck problems, probably. You know what I'm saying? They need to do like a grappling match. Neither one of them need to get knocked out at this point in their career, in my honest opinion. Neither one of them need to be, shoot, Tito Ortiz. I thought he was retired after the Chael fight. He won that fight? I don't know. Did Tito tap? We'll never know. But all I'm saying is Tito Ortiz, that's a way better matchup for Chuck Liddell. John Jones? John Jones? He just fucking knocked out Daniel Cormier, one of the greatest fighters of all time. Daniel Cormier's about to be fighting Stipe Miocic. If Daniel Cormier wins that fight, he is the greatest fighter of all time, and there's no debate. He was undefeated at heavyweight, 13 fights, came down, beat everybody not named John Jones, who has failed test for the fight. So, John Jones, Chuck Liddell, like 48-year-old Chuck versus John Jones. I'm saying, even if you let Chuck Liddell have, like, there was no USADA involved, whatever he needed, I still got John Jones. That shit's crazy, bro. So, yeah, I like the Tito fight. I would probably watch that. You had to put other fights on the card, though. I'm not just tuning in to watch those dudes fight, you know. But it would be fun to see on a card with other solid fights. You know, like if it happened to Bellator, I would watch it. But I wonder, is it going to happen with Bellator like Oscar De La Hoya? I heard some weird shit about Oscar De La Hoya and Chuck Liddell. How do you think Yair matches to Aaron Pico? Are they both? Oh yeah, Pico is a featherweight. Ooh, I think Pico gets him, bro. Pico, I got Pico against Yair for sure. Pico's got wrestling on top of some hands, but that'd be a fun fight at first. Damn, that'd be a fun fight, but I would definitely give the nod to Pico. I really think Pico's gonna be something special. You said congrats, bro. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Hey, fuck Aiden King's fat ass. Haha, the Jordan has been a roller coaster, but you stuck it out, bro. You deserve anything and everything that comes your way. Much appreciated, man. Aiden King, holy smokes. MMA talk, fuck boy. Yeah, man. I was listening. You remember when we took that troll snippet and that's like MMA talk, like, and we fucking went through the whole troll village. That shit was pretty hilarious. C-Level DC, I was listening to that the other day, that's why I brought that up. C-Level DC said, congrats, brother. It's badass to see you go from a few hundred to 6,000 subs in the span of almost a year. Let's fucking go. Road to 10K. Thank you very much. Jordan Walsh said, thoughts on Chuck wanting to come back and fight in MMA, LMAO. I'm cool with it, and I've talked about it. Like, if he needs the money, you can't stop a man from needing money. If he needs to put food on the table, if he needs to turn the lights on, he's got to do what he's got to do. Would I rather see Chuck Liddell doing something else, fucking doing a commercial and making a meal, or you know what I'm saying? Would I rather see Chuck Liddell with a dope ass sponsorship from Gatorade or something like that? Fuck yeah, I'd rather see Chuck Liddell on some commercial or some ESPN talk show talking about fighting. But if all he feels like he can do is fight at this point to pay the bills, and that's what he needs to do, let's get it on. I'm down to watch it. I'll watch it and support it for sure. But yeah, if he wants to fight John Jones, I just say chill. Alicia Miller said, that's sweet, congratulations. Who's your 3 favorite women fighters in the UFC? Valentina Shevchenko, I fuck with Chris Cyborg, I fuck with Amanda Nunes, I fuck with Rose Namajunas, I fuck with Karolina Kowalkiewicz, I fucks with Holly Holm, I fucks with I kind of like Angela Hill, you know, she's got a little fun personality. I kind of like Angela Hill, but as far as skill level, I don't think she's like a champion or whatever. But and you know, I kind of like her because she's kind of entertaining, but I don't necessarily agree with everything she says all the time. But hey, you know, she's pretty entertaining. Mackenzie Dern, I'm rocking with Mackenzie Dern. She's probably not in my top 3, but yeah, man, I fuck with WMMA though. So with that being said, Seismic Shock said, if Sean O'Malley agreed to do an interview with you or just hang out in person, would you travel to do it? He already agreed. Literally, in the interview that didn't record, he said if I came out there we could smoke and whatever. So yeah, man, I already know. If I had the fucking funds, bro, because I ain't even got kids, nigga. If I just had the money, bro, to go to Arizona or wherever the MMA lab is, I think it's in Arizona, it would have literally already happened. That would have happened 6 months ago if I wasn't broke as fuck. That literally would have already happened, you know what I'm saying? If I had a business loan, my credit wasn't whatever, didn't even know about credit till someone from the channel hit me up like, hey man, pull up this Credit Karma app, it's free to check your credit, I'll try and help you out. They're like, oh yeah, you got some work to do. I don't know nothing about that shit, bro. So that's why, you know, like, yeah, if I could though, fuck yeah, and I already know he would too. You know, I'd be on his Twitch. I'd be fucking not talking to him like person to person on Twitch, but I'd be in, you know, he gives me a shout out every time I'm on the Twitch. Sean O'Malley's my fucking dude. I'm telling you, you know, I'm fucking Stan O'Malley over here. So yeah, it's not about him agreeing to. And would I travel to do it? Yeah, I would probably have to drive to that shit. I still don't know if I'm ever going to. I'll probably have to get on a plane eventually, but I ain't never been on a plane right now, and I'm telling you right now, I don't fuck with planes. I had a fucking, yeah, so that's gonna be a hurdle. But if, let's say, like, I had like $1,000, right? I would definitely carpool to Arizona, go do a live interview with Sean O'Malley, and what if I could like break his fight news? Like, I traveled to do that shit, bro. Like, I'm just going live with full-time MMA with Sean O'Malley. Who are you fighting next? Yo, that would be fucking crazy. But hell yeah, I would do that. Hell yeah. Yosa L said, damn nigga, moving up, don't forget about us, bro. You're gonna go from Taco Bell to Golden Taco, smoke something, nigga, stop rambling. I hear you, bro. That's what you need to do after work, huh? I would like that because I read that after work. I read it today before I did this shit, and so I like the comment, but I was thinking you were talking about right after I got off work, because that's when I was rambling when I made this video. But I hear you, man. Yosa L also said, one question, do you take your meds or do you sell them, and if you sell them, can I get a 3 for 10? Hey man, I take my shit. No, it is what it is. But that's the last question we got. Thank y'all for asking the questions. These things come too quick, and let me know in the comments of this joint, what should we do every 1,000? I mean, we can keep doing Q&As, but it's like, I mean, it's really mostly a lot of the same people asking questions. So if y'all want, we can keep doing Q&As. But would y'all rather do something else? Eventually, I'm gonna start doing giveaways and shit. But y'all know I can't do that right now. But yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think about the fucking Q&A. Y'all want to just keep doing it every 1,000 questions like the old tradition? Get away from it. Maybe every, I don't know. Who knows, man? It is what it is. Thanks for checking this shit out. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G.